very good afternoon to all the students and a warm welcome to one and all present today for the online lecture of second year BBA semester 3 for the subject Human Resource Management. Now students, you have been attending number of lectures for HRM and you are very well clear that we have covered quite a lot in the first unit that talks about human resource management. I have also shared with you the notes of all whatever is covered up till now in the Google Classroom. So I hope that you have been reading the same. Students, coming to the contents, we have already covered the entire concept of human resource management. I explained you the meaning of human resource, concept of human resource management, the different functions of human resource management. We also studied the different roles, skills, and the competencies that needs to be possessed by a human resource manager. In the previous few lectures, we have also discussed about a new topic that was HRD, meaning to say the human resource development, its definition, goals, and all the challenges that have to be faced by the local corporate sector due to increasing globalization. I have already shared with you the notes of both the topics that have been covered. Now, students, in the previous lecture, we had started with the discussion on the changing environment of human resource management. Under the changing environment of human resource management, I very well told you the different concepts that we need to study. That is to say, globalization, technological advances, workforce diversity, corporate downsizing, cultural environment, and last but not the least, the changing skill requirement. Students, in the previous lecture, I had discussed with you the changing environment pertaining to globalization and pertaining to the technological advancement. We studied how both of them have impacted the human resource management and its practices. The focus for today's lecture shall be to understand the third factor that is affecting human resource management and has to be studied under the purview of changing environment of HRM, that is to say, workforce diversity. So before we discuss workforce diversity, I would be giving you a quick recap of the first two factors that we studied in the previous lecture. So students, the first factor that we studied pertaining to the changing environment of HRM was globalization. I told you how globalization struck the economy and how with the onset of globalization, number of challenges were introduced for the human resource manager. When I say globalization, we had talked about how the multinationals from abroad came in India and how number of Indian companies also expanded their business abroad. Ultimately, there was a two-way business going on, the entire world becoming a global village where it was very easy to import anything possible. Could be raw materials, could be the machinery, could be the capital, could also be the latest technology. But something that was difficult to be duplicated were the human resources. So it was very well realized at this stage that human resources have to be developed. Their skills have to be taken care of because it was only when you have a skilled workforce can you achieve the competitive edge in the environment. To survive in this globally competitive era, one needs to develop the human resource of an organization. And that is how globalization brought a change in the environment of human resource management. So students, we had discussed how the international business grown up, how Indian companies also went multinational, how the world became a global village, thereby increasing the responsibilities on the part of human resource manager. The best example could be how one had to think about the development of the knowledge, the skills of the human resources. One had to adopt a global, or I can say a world-class approach in order to survive in this environment. We also studied that how globalization affected different human resource functions, be it hiring, training, motivation, compensation, or even retaining. Everything had to be done by a global perspective. It was to help acquire the best qualified staff and thereby become a source of competitive advantage. Because a company could compete with the globally competitive companies only when their human resource was skilled and trained enough. So we had studied how it becomes a competitive asset for any organization, how the skills have to be developed, because other than all the other resources, it is only workforce that cannot be duplicated anywhere else in the world, and thereby the benefits between globalization and workers are mutual. That is to say, both are benefited from each other, both are complementary to each other. So, students, we had discussed about the same. We also discussed how globalization has impacted the human resource management. So, in that, we studied some 5 impacts. Number one was impact on employment. We studied how globalization affects the employment opportunities. With the increase in competition and increase in the emergence of the world class organizations, the employment of the skilled labor has increased. But on the other hand, the local industries or the small scale industries who were not able to compete in such a globally competitive environment had to even shut down, resulting to a loss of employment. Secondly, it has impacted the human resource development. That is to say, the skills of human resources have to be paid great attention to. Their skills have to be developed. They have to be given the necessary training so that they can compete in such a competitive environment. We studied its impact on compensation also. That is to say, we studied how higher salaries and benefits were offered to higher skilled and committed employees, but lower wages for the others who were unskilled and indifferent. Impact on the trade unions. So I explained you how they were quite indifferent towards globalization earlier, but later on they also accepted the reality, and thereby even they have worked for their development of skills, capabilities, so that the organization could survive in this competitive environment. And lastly, some other effects of globalization, such as effect on employees' empowerment, quality circles, employee counseling, and flexi time. So I hope that you are clear with the first factor we had studied, bringing a change in the human resource management. Students, now the second factor that we studied in the previous lecture was all about technology. I explained you how the technology is changing at a very great pace. It is somewhat like a technological revolution that we are facing. The new technology brings about changes in the new methods, new techniques of production, maybe some new machineries that may be introduced. So, as an employee, as a human resource, they need to also adapt the new technology. They have to change with the changing technology. They have to keep themselves updated. They have to be given the necessary training. They have to be given the necessary skills to master the new technology, to learn use the new machinery, or to learn the new method of production, or whatever the case may be. It is only then can the business again survive in the competitive environment. Gone are the days where employees could be just using the same technology or using the same machinery, same resource, and thereby undertaking production. One has to get rid of something that has gone obsolete or old, and thereby one also has to adapt to the new changes taking place. So we have studied in the previous lecture how change in technology has brought change in the human resource practices. It has brought about a number of innovations. It increases the need of skill building. It has also brought a change in the nature of jobs. Of course, we have seen how the manual tasking has gone to automation. Multitasking, multi-skilling becomes very much important. One needs to manage the talent and the people. We studied how it results to quick and objective decisions, increases customer and employees experience, results to a collaborative teamwork. Collaborative teamwork meaning to say there were no bureaucrats in the organization. There was not one person who was just undertaking all the activities, but definitely opinions of others were accepted, and it was a collaborative effort where the objectives were achieved with the combined effort of all. It also relocated the work, that is to say, it was now work shifted from office to home as well. Employees staying far away could now even work from their home and still achieve the objectives for the organization. The organization may be situated somewhere else, but still it could receive applications from worldwide. Lastly, I had shown you some additional ways describing the impact of technology on human resource management. You can just have a look at all the ways that we had studied, how it results into intellectual integration, reduction in the cost, supporting the learning, creating innovations, and thereby helping the new forms of community at work or the new forms of organizations to be created. So these were the different ways how the change in technology has impacted the changing environment of human resource management. So students, I hope that with this quick recap, you are clear with the first two changing aspects of human resource management. Without any further discussion, I would now move on with the topic for the day. We are here to understand the third factor or the third, I can say, impact on the changing environment of human resource management. It is the third factor that has actually led to a change in the human resource management practices. That is to say, workforce diversity. Now, when I talk about workforce diversity, we are talking about the workforce, the human resources who are employed in an organization, but the workforce that is diverse. It is a well accepted fact that almost in every organization you will find employees who are completely diverse, who are completely different from each other. India is, as it is, famous for the concept of unity in diversity, and the same thing applies in organizations as well. You would not find people who are having the same skills, possessing the same attitude, same culture, maybe the same age, the same gender, the same religion they follow. It is not possible. All the employees, the entire workforce who is employed in an organization are diverse, are different from each other in some or the other basis. And so, how the workforce diversity has brought a change in the environment of human resource management has to be studied therein. Because when the human resource is diverse, when the workers working in the organization are different from each other in number of terminologies, it definitely poses challenge for a human resource manager how to combine the efforts of such a diverse workforce and thereby how to achieve the objectives. So students, as I said, workforce diversity means employees of an organization differ from each other. They all are different from each other. They are not same people. They are different in terms of their age, maybe the gender, the education that they possess, the language that they know, the values that they possess, the cultural norms they follow, that is to say the culture they come from, the ethnic origin, etc. So there are a number of factors based on which the workforce is diverse from each other. As a result, organizations are becoming more heterogeneous. I hope you have heard the word heterogeneous. That is to say something not homogeneous, something that is not similar. So when an organization is equipped with a diverse workforce, a workforce which is different from each other in some or the other way, makes the organization quite heterogeneous, makes the organization quite different. There are various categories of employees bringing their own skills, attitudes, motives, and other personal characteristics. You cannot find two people exactly the same, and the same thing happens even in an organization. When you are employing the people, they come with different skills, they come with different attitudes. Their way of working is different, and that is why ultimately the entire workforce tends to get quite diverse, especially when there has been increased employment of women and more reservation categories for the minority sector. It has definitely increased more diversity in the composition of workforce in India. The workforce has actually got quite increased with increased number of women and increased number of minority sectors getting opportunities to involve in the workforce. So even that has been a reason for the workforce to be diverse. Thereafter, you can just have a look at the different bases onto which the workforce is becoming diverse. As I said, could be based on the rent, on the gender, the race, the age, marital status, could be the geographic background, could be the culture, the physical abilities, the religion, could be the education, could be the language, that is to say their mother tongue. So there are a number of factors even over and above these factors due to which the workforce tends to remain quite diverse. They are quite different and still working in the same organization. So students, with understanding the meaning of workforce diversity and the basis as to how the workforce becomes different to each other, we now would discuss what is the impact of such a diverse workforce. Like every coin has two sides, even a diverse workforce has its pros and cons. A diverse workforce would be offering both opportunities as well as challenges for an organization. Think about a situation where you have an organization which is filled with people coming from different backgrounds. They have their different skills, they have different educational qualifications. Some may be of a higher age, leading to have more experience, while some may be the youngsters, so have the different zeal and enthusiasm. Some have expertise over a few areas, some have expertise over a language, maybe. Some are having some other kind of skills that are not possessed by others. So when you have a diverse workforce, it is going to give you opportunities, it is going to be beneficial for the organization, but at the same time, it also creates challenges for the human resource manager. So let us understand its impact both in the sense of opportunity as well as a challenge. So students, firstly, let me just talk about the opportunity. So workforce diversity actually offers the organization a competitive advantage. When an organization has people coming from different backgrounds, having different attitudes, skills, they can definitely make use of such a diverse workforce to achieve the objectives in a better manner. It may happen that few are having skills that are not possessed by others, while the remaining have some other sort of skills that are not possessed by the former group. So when you have such a skilled workforce who are skilled, who are talented in their own different ways, you have a diverse workforce, it will definitely help you come up with some or the other new things, innovate something new. It would result into a better organizational performance and thereby would also help you compete in this globally competitive environment. So definitely you would be able to survive longer when you have a diverse workforce having their own talents. So diversity can be a source of competitive advantage in the marketplace. Organizations that manage the diversity effectively are better able to attract qualified employees from women also and the minority groups as well. So when you have a diverse workforce and you are able to manage it well, definitely you would attract even more diversity towards your organization. Also can better understand different market segments. These organizations are generally more creative and innovative. As I said, when you have a diverse work group, you are tend to create more innovations and you tend to come up with something new. Because the workforce is diverse, they may be possessing knowledge about different sectors altogether. It would help you understand these different market segments very clearly. So this could be the important opportunity for an organization owing to the workforce diversity. But secondly, as I said, it will also be imposing some sort of a challenge in an organization, and that challenge is none other than but the challenge of conflict. So diversity as a source of conflict. Conflict could be any sort of dispute, any sort of misunderstanding, or maybe difference of opinion. It goes without saying that when you have a workforce which is diverse, which has different thinking process, they come from different backgrounds, their attitude towards work is different, they possess different skills, their thinking process is different, definitely it will result into some or the other sort of difference of opinion or any form of miscommunication or misunderstanding. It is impossible to have everybody arriving at the same conclusion every time. So definitely it will also result to a source of conflict. So at that point, human resource manager has to be very much cautious as to how their efforts can still be combined, the objectives can still be achieved without having a possibility of conflict. So, one potential source of conflict arises when an individual thinks that someone else has been hired, promoted, or fired because of his or her diversity status. It may happen that employees feel that there has been some sort of partiality towards them, some sort of prejudice because of the diverse status they belong to. So, because of that, conflict may arise. Even sometimes it results to some misunderstood interactions among people as they come from different backgrounds, their thinking process is different, they may not be able to understand each other every time well, so will result to conflict. Could also be as a result of fear, distrust, or individual prejudice against the members of the dominant group. Because a person belongs to a certain group doesn't mean you would distrust or you would play prejudice with that person. But in case it happens, it will definitely result to a source of conflict. So I hope that you understood how workforce diversity poses both challenges as well as opportunities for human resource management. Coming to the final topic for workforce diversity, having understood the meaning of workforce diversity, now you have to understand its implications on human resource management as to what are the necessary challenges that are faced by a human resource manager and what are the impact effect of workforce diversity onto HRM. So students, number one, you can see that increasing number of women in the workforce would require more flexible work schedules, childcare facilities, maternity leave, transfer to husband's place of posting, or any other thing. So basically, when you are welcoming more women employment and thereby the workforce is getting more diverse, it will also command flexibility in these aspects. Because when you are employing people, you would like to maintain them as well. So for maintaining the workforce, you also have to work for these things. Secondly, when you have an aging workforce, as I said, the workforce could be diverse, ranging from a young person to middle age or old age person also. So when you have a diverse workforce where there are aging people, definitely you also have to work for the problems of better healthcare facilities, higher pension costs, and others. So, as a human resource manager, you also have to work for providing them good healthcare facility. Paternalistic approach has to give way to employee empowerment. It should not be one person dominating all the other workers in the group. One has to give way for employee empowerment as well. Employees' opinions should be welcomed. They should be engaged in the decision making of the organization, and thereby their performance should be enhanced. They have to be given the necessary recognition and appreciation. There is a need to remove all the unintended and intended discriminations on the basis of gender so as to avoid the cases of sexual harassment. Even this is an important issue that has been faced by the organizations. So one needs to also work to remove any sort of gender based discriminations. There should be no discrimination, no bias based on gender whatsoever. Number five, organizations must understand and appreciate the changing values of young people also. As I said, you have a diverse workforce. You could have people who belong to youth as well. There could be some young people working in your organization. So you need to attract them, retain them as well. Lifelong employment, total loyalty to the organization, and commitment to work can no longer be taken for granted. If workers are working with the organization for a longer period of time, they are loyal towards the organization, they are committed to work, that doesn't mean it can be taken for granted. You need to try and strive for some new changes, thereby helping to attract and retain the young talent in the organization. Because as far as the aging workforce is required for their experience, so is the requirement of the young talent as well. Moving to the number sixth, a centralized and a uniform approach needs to be replaced by a decentralized and a plural system. As I said, you need to allow your employees give their opinions, give their suggestions, and invite them for the decision making process. It should be a delegation of authority and responsibility. Focus has to be shifted from quantity to the quality of life. And by quality of life, we mean the quality of work life that is given to them. There has to be a balance between the work life and the personal life of an employee. There should be a balance between the achievement he makes in the job, secondly, the enjoyment that he gets from the work as well. It should not be only all work and thereby giving him no appreciation at all. Organizations are now expected to accommodate personal and family activities too. Could be a doctor's appointment, could be the children's school programs, could be a luxury, a leisure trip, etc. So you need to pay attention to the quality of work life of employees as well. They should be given such a working environment that it tends to help them work with full joy. There should be a balance between the work life and the personal life, because it is only then you could retain them for a longer period of time. And lastly, the human resource professionals need to design and use the new employees' benefits grievance redressal mechanisms. You need to have mechanisms to solve the grievances, meaning to say the complaints of the people. When you have a diverse workforce, as we mentioned earlier, there is a possibility of conflict whatsoever. There would be difference of opinions, and if they come to you with your complaints, then definitely you should work for the redressal or solving the same, and participation plans to overcome the demotivation or poor morale, if any. If you feel your workforce is demotivated or not motivated to work better for any reason whatsoever, help them, encourage them to work better, and thereby try to resolve their complaints, if any. So, students, with this, I conclude the third factor, that is to say, workforce diversity and its impact on HRM. So, in order to deal with the problem of workforce diversity, management may create a truly cultural organization where all the members of diverse cultural and social groups are involved in shaping the mission, policies, and programs of the enterprise. You need to have a true cultural organization. No matter the people working are diverse, no matter they are coming from different groups altogether, but still they should be combined in order to shape the mission and the vision of the enterprise. Must encourage open communication. If there is open communication between the diverse workforce, it would result in the reduction of difference of opinion to some extent. It could be the women, it could be the disabled, could be the minorities or some reserved categories or any other employee. So there has to be open communication between them about their aspirations, about their diverse values. No matter they come from diverse areas and they have a diverse thinking process, still it can be combined with open communication. And lastly, such feedback that you get from open communication would help the human resource professionals themselves in formulating appropriate strategies, policies, and the programs. So students, I hope you understood. We have studied with the changing environment of human resource management. Out of the 6 factors, I revised globalization and technological advancement with you, and thereby we have also done with the third factor that talks about the workforce diversity, how the workforce is diverse, what are the bases of diversity, how it poses both opportunity as well as a challenge, and what is its final impact on human resource management. So I hope that you understood the topic we did today. We would be meeting soon in the next lecture where I would be explaining you all about the fourth factor impacting human resource management, that is to say, corporate downsizing. You can get a quick recap of whatever we have done. You have understood about the implications for human resource management. We have understood both the challenge as well as the opportunity created by the workforce diversity. We understood the basis of workforce diversity, the meaning of workforce diversity. So I hope that you are clear with whatever we have studied today. See you soon in the next lecture where we shall be moving ahead with the same topic, that is to say, changing environment of human resource management. But we shall be studying the next factor that talks all about corporate downsizing. Until then, do read from the notes that have been provided to you, as you would be having soon an assignment or quiz from the same. So start reading, and then if you get any possible doubts, try to ask them in the Google Classroom so that I can solve it at the earliest. Thank you so much for the day, students, and until then, happy learning.